Keilan! You son of a bitch.
This would be DS Radio, and I am Herft.
I did not know it was a video.
Greetings, traveler. Hello. I was wondering if you happened to see my meds lying on the garden somewhere. No. I was maneuvering myself out of Morrison's and I dropped them on the floor. Really? I'm looking for them. Have you seen my medicine? No. 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 Yes. No. My name's Tommy Pruitt. Yes. Hello. If you could please help me find my medication. It's quite important. No. If I don't get my medication every 10 minutes, I will implode. Really? Yes. Really. It might seem quite bizarre and unrealistic, but it's true.
Bullshit.
Hang on, I got about 5 minutes. 4 minutes. 3 minutes. Are you joking, like? 1 second. You better be joking. 2 seconons. You're a dickhead, Ave.
But I hope you leave enough room for my fist because I'm going to ram it into your stomach!
Well, I was listening to a band called Glorious Temptation, and it just really took me away from all the glitz and glamour, glitz and glamour I meant to say. It really struck me when the guitarist started smacking one of the cymbals with his guitar, like full-fledged going for it. And then he ripped his shirt off and chucked it into the crowd. It was quite amazing. I just, one of those things that you see at a gig and you think, wow, I bet that never happens anywhere else, But then he took a heart attack and he died, unfortunately. DS Radio!
Come on! You almost got me! Touch me! Come on!
Oh, God damn it! Dad, get off our Xbox!
Hang on, I almost caught the dragon!
You almost got me!
No, me and Kyle are gonna play Guitar Hero!
I can get him! Wait! Where's he going now?
You don't ever catch the dragon, Dad!
No! No, I said! I am your father! Put it back on!
Mom, you get Dad out of here!
Cola. I'll take some Coke, like. You want wee bit Coke? Well, anyway, don't chase the dragon because it's bad, and I just want to put that in there because it's funny. And now, we've got coming up in the studio in Manhattan restaurant later that wasn't really real. We've got Zak Ross, and he's here to talk about that time that he was in Soul Rider and then his fantastic career. So that's coming up later. You might want to check that out. As for now, what's your quadrangle like?
My quadrangle's got 4 sides. It's not like a regular triangle. It's like a quad triangle. So it's got 4 sides, and it's pretty cool.
Has it got legs as well?
It's got about 3 legs, and one of the legs is sort of incapacitated, so it's a wee bit bad.
I never thought that would have legs. That's pretty strange.
Cobras in a Casino, a new film directed by Mel Gibson, featuring celebrities, beer, tits, vagina, and a shitload of guns. Coming August 2015. sPLODGE Radio.
Oh my god, people, come and see this. Look, you have to see this. This is totally weird.
Somebody put a cat in a hat? Alright, well, we're welcome to see you here from DS Radio. I'm Creaney from Nude Superstar. I'm kicking it here with my mate Zach and my mate Dean, making some madness for your ears tonight. So we're going to get on with it. This is an advert for Terrorist Cunts. It's a movie coming out in late 2015.
The president has been captured, and we have only 10 minutes until a nuclear warhead is sent towards New York City. Holy fucking shit, what are we gonna do?
Nothing.
DS Radio.
And now on DS Radio, we have Zak Ross, a member of the clitorally acclaimed Soul Rider. And he's here to talk about his new album that's going to be coming out. And we caught up with him in a Lower Manhattan restaurant, and this is what he had to say.
DS Radio.
Hello. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you Zak Ross. Now, he is the lead singer of the band Soul Rider, the clitorally acclaimed band. Now, might I say, I first seen Soul Rider when I was 13, and it was in a magazine. Can you believe that? Magazine, yes. And it forced me to get an album. I seen it and I was like, yes, this band look cool. So I bought an album. And when I took it back and I listened to it, it blew my mind. I thought, fucking hell. Wow. So, 43 years later, I am now sitting lower Manhattan in this busy cafe, and I am actually interviewing Mr. Zak Ross. This band has sold over 1 million records. They have toured all over the world. They are from the Highlands of Scotland. And it's very rare that a band from that sort of area gets this kind of success, especially in the rock industry. So, with all these successes and all these albums, the critically acclaimed, they are here. Zak is here to talk about a new Soul Rider album. So, Zak, well, it's been a long journey, might I say. Like, it has been a very long journey. You must be so proud of yourself. Now, my first question, I thought, was maybe a little full frontal, but might I say, yeah, love it. But when exactly did you lose your virginity, and was it an enjoyable experience?
Well, I was quite young. I was probably about 15 at the time, and we were down the skate park, and me and this girl Lauren got it on under the flatbed ramp. It was a small ramp with a rail on it, and we pumped there for maybe about 2.5 hours. That was a long time ago.
Did you give her the alphabet technique?
Well, when I was looking at the vagina, I managed to do the alphabet I. That was quite effective.
I've tried it a few times and I've felt that it was quite girthy. So, as we move on, I want to get off the subject of sex for a second and talk about your missions on top of the pops. Now, that must have been quite a bit of time for you. It's a really highly regarded place to get on top of the pops. How did you feel about that?
Well, to be honest, when you get on top of the pops, the fame kind of goes to your head a wee bit, and while the music was playing abrasively, we managed to maintain a certain level of decorum, so we managed to keep ourselves fairly level-headed. But the girls screaming out, that was one experience that I really liked, and there was quite a hot one at the front row with black hair down to about shoulder length, and she sort of waved, and that made us just play ever so much better, I guess.
She sounds like she had beautiful skivvies. Was she absolutely radiant? I mean, she sounds fantastic. I'll maybe have to look back on the video footage to check it out.
I'm sure you can. I think her name was Diane Watkins, because we hooked up shortly after the gig because she wanted to come backstage. So she came backstage and I managed to receive a blowjob for about 12 or 14 minutes, and that was just long enough.
You rumpled her toad skin. What was it like becoming the British number one?
Well, becoming British number one, it was quite impressive because we thought that Rage Against the Machine were actually going to gain number one band. Well, they were from America, of course, but it was a sort of international competition. So to remain number one for 5 weeks in the charts, that was quite something.
It was outstanding. It was around that time that I actually got introduced to Soul Rider, and I was utterly devoted to you ever since. I found it absolutely incredible. What was the actual show like when you played the show? You said there obviously was the Fit Bard, but was there anything else absolutely distinct about it that you really enjoyed?
And just the general atmosphere of the crowd. I mean, they were really forthcoming and really gave us a warm welcome when we first got introduced onto the stage. I guess there was some antics, like me doing a backflip with a guitar and Ronnie Mackay doing several front flips after a while, and Andy chucking his sticks up in a really complex fashion and sort of drumming along whilst chucking the sticks up in the air. I mean, everyone was going for it. And of course, Butch was jumping about on the scene, and he was wearing his teddy bear onesie.
Is it true that Teddy was on the situation at the side and he actually split his groin because he jumped so much? He fell on his nodger and he actually broke it a little bit.
Teddy falling on his nodger, that was quite something, I guess. I think the end result was, I think he split his gooch, which is the area between the ball sack and the nuts. And I think he actually split to the right of the gooch, and after that he was just in hospital for about 3 to 4 weeks, so he had to get some minor surgery, you know.
That's a horrific accident, but it is also funny, as you can imagine. Anyway, like, what was Brian Dennehy doing on the scene back then? Why was he sitting in Top of the Pops? And he now is a full-fledged fan. He has all your albums, all 15, and he has devoted his life to you since then. So why was Brian Dennehy there? What do you think was his motives behind this?
Well, I mean, he's just been a very supportive fan at the start. I mean, we had a gig at the London Theatre, and he was there, Brian Dennehy, at that point. And I think he really just dug our general sort of banter. I mean, we were all getting along quite well, and we'd gone for a few drinks with him, and he had a few vodkas too many, and I think he ended up sleeping with, like, one of those mail-order bride type things. But he came along for the ride. We did some acid with him. He was cool. He was walking into walls for hours upon end without actually managing to realise that he was still based in a sane reality, you know. That was about it with Brian Dennehy.
Yes, I saw him one night holding the moon, and when I seen that, I was like, yes, this is the experience that I've been waiting for 15 years. This is the time. So, retrospectively, you know, what was the main factor? Did you build up a cocaine habit together, or was it simply drink related?
Well, I mean, there's a bit of both. I mean, you know, you fire in there initially, and you say, well, no to drugs, but then you get offered a wee cheeky line, and you take that line, and you just get such this beautiful, scintillating sensation. And then we tried some MDMA with him, and he was quite intense. He was just thinking that the world was against him, and like we weren't his friends and things like that. And he went out for a walk, and he ended up drowning in this lake. Actually, it was a very sad story. So.
Well, I didn't want to get into it as it's so close to his family right at this present moment. But you know, rest in peace, old friend. It was good knowing you. I wanted to move on to when you hit America. Yeah, that must have been an extremely exciting time for Soul Rider. You know, how did it feel getting to New York and playing those kind of gigs that you just, as a Highland Roshire band, you would never experience getting, you know, these kind of gigs? It's quite incredible. How did you feel?
Well, to go to New York and you just see all the city folk like wandering around, you know, just with their I love New York caps on and everything, and then you've got a coffee shop about every 5-minute walk, you know, and then you've got different stores and different places you can go and experience and buy things in, you know, and museums and all sorts. But I mean, the actual gigging in front of a New York audience, they were maybe a bit cold and contrived to begin with, but then by about song 5 they started to warm to us a bit more, you know. So after they started warming to us a bit more, I managed to actually get into the groove a bit, and you know, the band generally got into the groove as well, because we were all bouncing off each other, and we received quite a loud round of applause after about song 8, my precious gem, you know.
So did you manage to warm up enough to do a triple backflip? Because I read in the newspaper here, I've actually saved it because it was such a meaningful one, because you exhibited the triple backflip technique whilst playing guitar and singing at the same time. So I've got that just looking beside me now. Right here, you can see it's yourself there doing the triple backflip now.
Oh, that was caught on camera.
Yeah, it was caught on camera.
Yes, that was about mid-flip. I was just, I think it was Butch ran over and jammed on this sort of seesaw type thing, and I managed to have the guitar. I had the guitar unplugged, fortunately, but I had one of those wireless unit things that you get with a guitar. So I was able to perform a triple backflip, and it was quite appeasing to the audience. They really seemed to roar with laughter and just generally find it quite entertaining, you know.
Well, after that, I mean, how could they not love Soul Rider? Exhibiting the triple backflip is just incredible. You know, when you come to America, you can imagine that it's such a long journey getting from one side to the other side. Did you feel that you were walking the mile when you were going over that desert there, or did you feel some kind of elation in reaching that and taking all the mescaline that you found there in the desert?
Well, the mescaline was absolutely intense. I mean, we just all sort of became exostenthic, or what's the word? Tremendously fucked. That's probably a better expression. Saw Roddy and Butch sort of like being really egregious to people and just like hugging people all the time. And Andy was like hugging people and trying it on with some chicks, you know, just because he can, I guess, because he had a divorce recently, which was quite tragic. But nonetheless, the mescaline made us really, really into just being really friendly to people and hugging them and trying to kiss them and stuff, you know.
Was it at that time that Butch made the double baby from his sphincter?
Yes, he actually shot out a double baby. It was really strange. They were a set of conjoined twins, and they popped out his rectum. So I guess he's a daddy or a mummy, I guess you could say, which is quite something, I suppose. And I believe he's staying down somewhere near Northampton these days. So.
That's incredible. I'm so glad that happened. I mean, many a man that I know would be proud to be a daddy to two of those beautiful beings. What was it like hitting California? Because they have, as we all know, some different views on certain things and experiences, and the nudity was quite intense. How was that for you?
Well, in California, a lot of the women are topless on the beach, so you can't help but like ogle a wee stare every so often, you know, as you're wandering along, drinking your dry martini that you get served at the bar, which is quite nice, actually.
Did you suffer from the rump sting whilst you were underwater? Did you go in and cool yourself off? Because I've heard that it's quite gargantuan when you get out there. They're so fit.
Yes, we managed to cool ourselves off. We fortunately brought our bathing trunks with us, so that was quite nice. And to see some of the hot women swimming around and everything with their bikinis on, that was really something special. I mean, you don't see that too often in Scotland.
Definitely not. I've never been out to Ingersoll and seeing that there were women there. That's quite amazing. Have you ever been to Ingersoll?
I can't say I have ever been to Ingersoll, but I've heard good things about it. Is it not somewhere near Somerset?
Yes. I know that there's the North Star stone there, and when you look through it, there's actually the shape of a woman's breast.
Ah, right. Is that Ingerslow, is it?
Ingerslow, which one's that?
Is that what you were talking about, Ingerslow?
Ingerslow, the one from High Jarden.
From High Jarden? Well, High Jarden, Cabarden, Farden, Ex-Becken de Tarden.
Yes, anyway, so what was the London show like? We've come across this subject on many a forum recently, and we've had some people talking out about how much they enjoyed the London show, and it's quite understandable that a rare bit of footage of Soul Rider really performing the flips and playing, and then there was the giant big dodgy skull that was above everyone that, you know, people really rocked out to it. It was sort of misogynistic, and it was a great like fuck you to the societal.
Well, that's just it. I mean, we had a bit of a spinal tap moment before we were coming on stage. We ended up going left, and then left, and then right, and then right, and then left, and then left, when it should have been left, and then left, and then right, and then left, and then left, and then right. And that was quite irritating.
I got stuck in there when I went to see Woofybrook, and it was really difficult. I got lost for half an hour, and then I met the guy that was standing there, the little worker, and I passed him by, and he gave me false information, so it took me another 10 minutes, and then I found my little dog Shoppy, and I followed Shoppy up, and Shoppy knew where we were going. Wait a minute. Maybe that was a dream. I think that might have been a dream. But, yes, what was up with all the fat bitches at London? Why were they all fat?
They were parkers, some of them, real parkers. I don't really know. I mean, the thing was, you're bouncing off the audience, you're getting a contact high off them, you know. And then some of these big women, some of them want to come backstage, and you just think, I only got so much loving for some skinny bitch.
Well, what can I say? There was at least 50 at the front there in that gig. When I look back in the DVD, it was fucking crazy. So, yes, we all know that with every great rock band there is some serious issues with the drugs. I know that Soul Rider were more than capable of taking their hand at a few. And I don't know if you want to disclose this online, because it's quite personal, I'd imagine, but what happened in there? I heard that there was some great mingling and some dabbling in drugs. What was going on?
Well, Butch had a nasty cocaine habit, Roddy had a pretty heavy acid habit, and Andy had a pretty heavy smack addiction, you know. So Andy was getting high off the smack, and he was sort of underperforming on the drums, and Roddy with the cocaine, I think he was, no, Roddy with the acid, he was just not himself, you know. He'd just be wandering around, and he watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show one time in Whitehead when he was smoking cannabis. That was quite hilarious, actually. He turned green, and then he fired into the toilet, and he was sick for about 10 minutes.
What? That is brilliant. I've never heard this story before. Thank you for telling us this. Yes, that sounds like quite an image. So, I heard you got into Total Guitar. What was that like? Brilliant. I mean, Total Guitar is one of the biggest in Britain, and they talked incessantly about Guitar Band and the Roddy Sweet Madness.
Roddy Sweet Madness, yeah, that's a very skilled habit he's got. When he plays the guitar, he'll go from like bottom E to low E to sort of notes in between and sweep his fingers down with a one stroke from the plectrum and then back up again. Kind of like that.
Oh wow, yes, that I can see that on the tablature. I've got one here actually, yes. It's incredibly looking. I mean, there's so many notes that I can't see anymore. How can your fingers fucking do that?
It's quite incredible. I mean, I just don't have the technique. Me being a sort of rhythm guitarist, you know, and singer, I just don't have the time to kind of be working on things like that. But I really admire the way in which people can do it, you know.
I was wondering as well, what about going on tour? What was that like? Did you do any good sightseeing?
Well, we actually had a gig in Istanbul, and that was quite interesting, actually. Some of the audience there were quite cool. And we hooked up with a few individuals afterwards that were sort of native to Istanbul, and they showed us around a few sites. Which was quite kind of them, really, you know. So, pardon me, excuse me. It was quite kind of them to show us around these sort of old building sites. They were quite nice. Saw some decent architecture there.
Unfortunately, this man is ushering us away. I'm going to have to get the fuck off me, prick. I'm going to have to go away.
DS Radio, why did you do it to me? Oh, love a wee bit of DS Radio.
Oh, I say.
DS Radio.
Please come to Lofty Falls Retirement Home. We have all amenities and such fun things and days out like
Party! Woo!
Or you could go out for the occasional swim.
Man, this cocaine's great.
Or how about kickboxing with your Aunt Margaret?
I think I broke a nose.
Please don't hesitate to come to Lofty Falls. Thank you.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions.
About Lofty Falls?
I want to have them answered immediately.
Sure, why? Is everything okay? Where did you go? Where? I'm all alone. I've never been all alone before. My ass is a bit itchy. Let me give it a scratch. Yes. Oh, it was a bit wet. Maybe I could just have a little. It tastes shitty, yes. Oh, where's this mic's on? Hey, are you fuckers recording me? I'm telling you, nobody records David Attenborough on his days off. I'm telling you, that's it, I quit. I am fucking sick of this BBC shit. I am out of here. I'm going to go and work for some weird assholes like sPLODGE Radio or some fucking bastards. I said, I'm out of here. I quit. You know what? The sex was shit anyway, you fuckers. God. Bastards are fucking... get out. Who do you think you are anyway, you fuckers? I'm David bloody Attenborough. Assholes. You. My ass is a bit itchy again.
Did he just eat his ass? I'm pretty sure he just stuck his finger in his ass and then ate it straight away after. Oh my god.
Well, folks, I hope you've had a good time so far. I mean, I've just been sitting here getting a wee bit pissed on this Glenfiddich. 10-year-old single malt Glenfiddich. You can't beat the fucker, I tell you.
Hello and welcome to DS Radio News. And today, we've got a news report on the Yes and No campaign. This is featured in Glasgow. And now, coming up, we've got... Mike O'Reilly and Hugh Donaghy. And they're going to be establishing their views on each side of their vibe for that anyway. So we're going to catch into it. This is live in Glasgow. And we're going straight to Donaghy. Hugh, can you tell us what are your political thoughts on your Yes campaign?
Well, I've got to say, we've got a lot of abundant resources, you know. We've got like quite a lot of that environmental stuff going on, like cow turbines, you know, the cows powering turbines, and like pigs making the water flow and stuff like that, you know.
Alright, that's some good statements now. So what do you have to say yourself, Mike, on the opposite side of that?
Well, I just feel that certain ways, if we said no to independence, we'd still have the Queen, you know, and she's not a bad looker. You know, she's 89, 90, I'd probably still pop her one if I could, you know what I mean? If I could still get it up, if you know what I'm talking about. But with the No campaign, it's very difficult because Scotland are quite big contributors to our society. But to keep them in the Constitution, I think it would be a very good idea because they've got quite a lot of the oil, and so we wouldn't be able to take Scotland's oil and then tax them for it, which is absolutely ludicrous.
Do you see this as a rat race, or is it going to be over quickly in your eyes?
Well, I don't really know, to be honest. Short term, aye. Long term, no. I mean, we've got several different options. I mean, if the people of Scotland decide to vote yes, then that's, you know, they've got their environmental things sorted out. They're shutting down Dounreay. I don't think the SNP are very pro-nuclear power. So in those regards, I think maybe to some degree Scotland would benefit from being with us still.
Agreeable. And Hugh, what do you have to say about bufties?
Well, I just don't really know how to take them, you know. Well, pardon the pun.
I don't know if we can air that on the news. We can maybe cut it out.
Right, aye, sorry for that remark. I've got a couple of my friends are maybe that way inclined, and it doesn't really bother me too much as long as they're not coming on to me. I mean, I wouldn't really like that to be happening, do you know what I mean?
Alright, join us later for the news at 6. Thank you.
Don't bullshit me. Bullshit. 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 You said so. It's all bullshit. All of it.
Jesus.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Hallo?
Hallo? Ist das German Hausline?
Hallo there.
Ja. Oh, Lida Lulu Bubu.
Welcome to German Hausline.
Das ist German House, ja? Uns.
Ja.
Ja.
Tell me who you are and what you've done with Mildred.
Mildred is an das Haus. Ah, Mildred. Uns.
What did he come again?
How dare you?
Right, that's it. I'm going to find you and I'm going to castrate your armpits.
No.
With some big against jewelry, some pearls.
Oh, I give you the pills, yeah? You can have plenty.
Yes, we have lots of pills.
Ist das German House? Ist das German House?
Ja. Uns.
Uns.
Ja.
Music I hear in the background.
It is my German House music da.
We liked the house.
What are you trying to say to me?
Is you like it, yeah?
What? You being inappropriate towards me.
I would like to take you to my rumsting and give you the good old schlusen.
Oh, that was dirty. That was very dirty.
Uns. Danke für bitte 5. Vater schon.
Das was Sie call from the German House line. Uns. Das Spiel hat gebrochen. DS Radio.
Into the boat! Into the tunnel! Get to the chopper!
Into the cave! Into the cave! Into the cave!
Hey, and this is DS Radio, motherfucker. I'd just like to say that this episode, as with all the other episodes that we've produced, are completely free to download. So if you would download that would be absolutely amazing. And thank you for all the support so far. It's been an awesome little journey. As with all the productions, we've been doing this from our little bedroom. And we don't really have pioneer technology or anything. We're using quite basic and all freely achieved. We got everything for free. So everything that you hear under Nude Superstar is all been achieved free. It's quite incredible. Considering the sound quality eventually after a lot of practice anyway. But I'd like to self-promote shamelessly a little bit more of Malice and Mescaline, our deep house vibe that we've been producing for a while. That's all free to download. We've got some great mixes up there and great tunes that we've been producing. All sort of with our vibe, because we come from a metal background. There's also MESSIANE there, that's our metal band, and Sun's Departure, our punk metal, but we sort of have this real metal inspiration from our childhood, and then sort of bringing in the deep house vibe, and I'm now trying to merge these a little bit. It's a bit experimental, but it's been absolutely fantastic fun, and thank you for all the support and the plays. We're really delighted that you like the music as well. It's nice to produce it and get that sort of thank you back. But okay, we're going to move on, as I've been rambling, to the usual spraffle-blaffles of utter shite. So I'm Creaney from Nude Superstar, and thank you for listening.
DS Radio.
Did you remember to flush?
You better have.
Keep the nasty bog away. Remember to wipe also. DS Radio.
I'm trying to communicate with extra cheese people. Anybody else that's out there that likes cheese, please contact me. I am looking for cheese people to join me on my cheese search. If there is any cheese people out there, can you please contact me? Cheese, please. I would like to meet people that like cheese as well. Do you like cheese? I'm kind of looking for someone that likes cheese. Who doesn't like cheese? Please? I like cheese. I like cheese a lot. Cheese makes me happy. It makes me have boners.
Okay, we're back in Glasgow, and it's the DS Radio News. Thank you. Okay, so Hugh, what are you saying about our economic problems? Are we going to get more eggs, or are we going to suffer?
I'm not sure, whether we get more eggs or not. To be honest, they're good. They're great if you get some eggs and you throw them at someone's window. That's the best thing you can do with a fucking set of eggs.
Okay, and also, what do you think about that, Mr. What's your name?
Mr. What's your name? Who's that?
The other guy.
Chris Riley. No,
Michael.
Sorry there. Mike O'Reilly. He's got some pretty contorted views, I reckon, about Scotland. Now, I don't know if they were pro-nuclear power or not. That's something that I'll have to ask him.
Right, he's coming back out the shitter. Hang on, we better stop talking. Alright, Mike, how's it going?
Aye, what's the crack?
Yeah, come sit down. Okay, what is your thoughts, Mike, on the shit crisis, the potato famine? What's wrong?
Well, to be really brief, the potato famine is quite a controversy, and I don't like it.
Yes, are you?
I fucking hurt my leg back. Ow. That was sore. Ow. Hey man, did you see that? That was really painful.
But Peter Berdondi, surely you'll be getting free leg rubbings from company.
Where did you come from? You're not my usual companion.
No, I am sent here by government grant because you wanted free ding-dings with your leg rub.
I didn't. I just fell off my bicycle. Where have you come from? Who are you?
I am Rajesh. I give you free ding-dings and leg rub. You enjoy, yes?
Maybe I shouldn't have taken these mushrooms earlier. Oh, my leg. Who is this weird man? Why does he keep talking to me? Oh, my ass is a bit itchy. Who are you again? Sorry, why you stop looking at me with that face?
My name is Rajesh. I am here to help you with free leg rubbings. Unless you want more internet providings I can offer.
Leg rubbing. I'll have the leg rubbing if you're up for it. It's my leg. I need it.
There you go, sir. I hope you enjoy.
Thank you. That was a swift leg rubbing. Do you do other legs?
Sometimes I do left and right leg, but it really depends on who the customer is.
What do you pay in?
Sorry?
What do you pay in?
What do I pay in?
What
do I do? I give free leg rubbings and internet providings with people that want free ding-ding. I don't understand you, sir. Sorry.
How much? And do you charge?
£5 for half hour, £10 for 1 hour.
That was DS Radio. Now, we've got a little song called Something About the Glove. And it's a tune. Here it is, Here, do you know what this is, Did I just introduce it or what?
Maybe, I'm not sure,
Squelch. Can you turn on the glove?
Squelch. Squelch.
Can you turn on the glove?
Squelch. Squelch.
Can you turn on the glove?
Squelch. Squelch.
Can you turn on the glove?
Squelch. Squelch.
Can you turn on the glove?
Squelch. Squelch.
Can you turn on the glove?
Squelch. Squelch.
Can you turn on the glove?
Squelch. Squelch.
Can you turn on the glove? Please.
Squelch.
Please.
Shut up the hell up, you elephant sap man! Yeah.
DS Radio!
I was out pruning my vegetables one day when I seen a raspberry in my garden. I went down to the raspberry and it disappeared. So as I sat and I thought, after a long, good dinner into the fire. I lamented about it, and I retrospected that the way to get forward was to go back out and farm again. So I started farming more, and I made cabbages, I made Brussels sprouts, I tried to get a raspberry bush to honor the raspberry that disappeared, and maybe something else would happen. So I was pruning my vegetables, and I seen the raspberry again. So I ran to it, and just as it disappeared, the motherfucker turned in to the one and only Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hey, you want to be a farmer? Here's a couple of acres.
Dude, would you stop ripping on Arnold Schwarzenegger?
As a fucking asshole.
Sorry. Can't help it now.
Hello, my name is Morgan Spargan, and this is the kitchen. Today we're going to be showing you how to get an egg. And it's not an easy process, I can tell you that. But later on anyway, we'll be showing you how to get the egg and make it into a savoury meal. But for now, we're going to cut to a little clip of our good friends actually trying to catch the chicken. And I can tell you it was a hoot and holler, and no mistake. So, okay, this is us at Romswell Farm, catching a chicken.
Where'd you want me to grab it for?
I don't know, just
you got to grab it by the leg.
I don't know about this.
Right on, you fucking grabbing it. You can grab it. I don't want to touch it.
Sure, no, you fucking grab it. Like, I don't want to grab it.
Well, let's see. We should corner it or something, shouldn't we?
It's a bit.
Who the fuck's that?
Oh, here.
Right, okay, you going for it? No, right.
Right, guys, come on, you gotta grab it with his legs.
Come here.
Oh, he's
Where's he going? Little shit.
It's on the run, like, it's on the run. Go on, grab it.
Seriously, jump on it.
Grab it,
Where are you going?
grab it.
Come on, you pissy. So, after 6 hours, we managed to catch the little fucker. And now, later on in the show, we're going to cook it. Come and find out how.
DS Radio.
Aye, so we reached nearly the end of the show, but there's still more to come. Just you keep your lugs tuned in. Featuring Speedy Daffodil in the forthcoming winter. Speedy Daffodil. That's something to look forward to, isn't it? Now, I may be actually talking bollocks here, which I probably am. But if you can imagine a band called Speedy Daffodil, they're all yellow and on stage and there's petals flying everywhere and people are getting involved. Do you know what I mean? Speedy Daffodil for the win. That's what I say. Now, if you think about chrysanthemums, they're a wee bit different because they don't really have the same effect as Speedy Daffodil. But with these pink chrysanthemums, you can get something even more special. A contact high. And do you know what we do with a contact high? We basically fucking go for it. And we get together and we fucking just go laldy at a party. Say someone's got some vodka kicking about and a wee cheeky amount of Strongbow. You just mix the Strongbow in with the fucking vodka and away you go, son. Never mind your MDMA. That's for pansies. You have a fucking Strongbow and vodka and you're away with yourself for the next part of fucking 3 hours. Now, I'm not just talking piss here. I'm talking sense. Use the Strongbow and vodka. Now, for a cherry up the arse, here we go.
Who fucking put it there? Who put it there? Who put it there? I want to know. Are they going to tell me? Why is nobody telling me? I want to know who shoved the fucking cherry up my ass. It's inhumane. Who the fuck did it? I want to know. Did you do it? Did you do it, you wee scrawny cunt? Here, give over. You just shoved the fucking cherry up my ass. I'm the fucking dead. Oh, you fuckers. You all fucking dicks. How dare you? I've been saying this family for years. And you be on Jerry? Up on Jerry? How fucking dare you? I'm looking at fucking 10 months in the psyche ward for this. You, damn it, you fucking dick. You're a dick. How fucking dare you do it to me? I'm just a simpleton, man. Oh fucking hell. Where's the cider? Use a cider. Bring it over. Need to fucking know that. You're a dick. You're a dick. You all that fucking know. Here, let me have a wee drink. Let me have a wee drink. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
See you.
No,
Aye. See you. Aye. And see you over there. You're fucking dead after I drink this. You're dead. Right, give me a minute. Give me a wee second.
There's no need to be starting talking. Just drink it. It's alright. Sit down.
I see you. I fucking did it. You fucking get back. Get back. Hey, move out of the way. Get back. No, you're not fucking holding me back. Get that. You're not fucking holding me back. Get in the way. Aye, I'll fucking push you in the way. You cannot. You're fucking holding me back. Oh, you fucking cunt. Ah, you fucking think you're hard now? You think you're fucking hard, right? I'll fucking take that, eh? I'll fucking take that. See you, Tammy. Here, I'm getting you fucking Tammy in the balls. I just kicked Tammy in the balls. Yeah, you know what it's like, Shimon, that, don't you? Fucking,
Kicked in the balls.
DS Radio! Run!
Drama.
No.
Good morning. Now, after a long day's drama, you might want to sit back and have a nice cup of tea. However, you might also feel a little hungry. Now today, we're in the kitchen and we're going to teach you how to make an egg. Now, to start with, you may quite possibly need a chicken. I can help you in finding that. You can go to most retail stores, or you can go to your neighbour's garden, and you can simply pick up a chicken from there. Now, you're going to want to take the chicken back home. So you take the chicken home, and you might possibly want to snap its neck because they get a little wriggly. Okay, so you get the chicken home, snap neck, you bring it in onto your kitchen table, and you squeeze very hard on its belly. Okay, so bear with me here, hang on. And I've already snapped this fucker's neck. Now, to squeeze the belly. 1, 2, 3. Okay, right. Now we've squeezed out the egg. Now, that is how you get an egg. And if you would like to cook this egg, now we can talk about some kind of ways of getting nourishment from it and using it to our advantage. So, I'm going to teach you how to hard boil this little egg, because I can't really be bothered doing anything else with it at this present moment in time. Okay, so we get my pan. Yes, okay, yes, that's it. Okay, now I've got the pan. I'm going to stick it on to a medium heat, and I'm going to cook the cluck out of it. Okay, so bear with me. Okay, and to be honest, if you're feeling a little bit aroused, then feel free to whack one out, because you might need the salt content. No, I'm sorry, I'm busy right now. No, I don't have time.
Just a wee line.
Okay. No, don't snort that.
You forgot something.
It's not cocaine.
No,
it's not cocaine, I promise you. I'm not stinging out on you. I'm a generous person. I'm not going to stinge on this cake.
You give me a bit.
No, don't snort. No, stay away from it. Don't snort it.
Yeah, just let me
no, you stupid bastard.
Let me have a wee sniff.
Shit! DS Radio.
Hello! Can I talk to you about cheese? Hello? Hi. I wanted to talk about cheese.
Cheese?
Yes, I like margarine flavoured. Well, you were telling me about tea, and I like tea and cheese also. Do you have muffin? I'm scared now.
For the goodness sake.
Oh.
What have you done?
Oh, sorry. Listen, I wanted to talk to you about cheese.
That is an absolutely brute voice.
Sorry about that. I think I'm going to go and shit myself now.
Right, man. How's it going?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Just been chilling out, you know, just having a few reef dogs.
Cool, man. Just wondering, like, what would you do if you weren't Homo sapien for a day?
If I wasn't Homo sapien for a day, I'm not really sure. What would I be if I wasn't Homo sapien?
Some sort of land iguano.
Or land iguana, maybe. I'd be a king Komodo dragon, and I'd probably run around and maybe impregnate a female Komodo dragon, and then have little Komodo dragons jogging about.
Are those the kind of ones that you can ask for 350?
Yeah, you can ask for free fiddy, but sometimes if free fiddy isn't around, you should go to Benjamin Button. It depends who's on, you know, for the nearest deal, really.
So, if you went to do maths, do you think you would still be able to cope if you went in that environment, or do you think it would be a bit too intense being sort of a guano?
I think if you're an iguano in that type of environment, you might struggle to understand it, because you'd only be able to speak the iguanan language, which is very difficult to understand, you know.
But what if you had Mr. Bryce as a tutor?
If you had Mr. Bryce as a tutor, you might stand half a chance, because he gets you to understand parabola theorems and cosine and things like that, you know. So he's quite the beast.
You putting your hand up there, Finn? You putting your hand up there? But if he was introduced, do you think that he would also mate with the female iguano, or do you think that he would retain his maths decorum and sort of stay good?
It'd be very tempted to mate with a female iguana, but he's pretty high on his math and all his studies and things like that, so maybe he'd just remain with the math thing, and maybe think about impregnating the iguana at a different time, possibly.
Can you get married to iguana?
I'm not sure if you can get married to iguana. They maybe have certain mating rituals, like the male iguana maybe flashes wing type things around and maybe try and impress the female iguana, but I don't know about weddings. I'm not sure.
Would you have sex with a termite or a Terminator?
Drop the gun! Yeah, that's right, drop the gun!
Hey, I'm a police officer. This is an arrest.
Freeze! Jeez. I'm a cop, you idiot. I'm Detective John Kimball. This man is under arrest.
Cocainum.
So who are you, man? Shit!
I'm the party pooper.
3, 2, 1, and